This is KGW News at noon.
Stay in contact with the governor to abide by those conditions. Thank you.
And with that, the off-duty pilot accused of trying to bring down an Alaska Airlines flight will be released from state custody. The state and Joseph Emerson's lawyers agreed on a list of 7 conditions that Emerson will have to meet in order to be released. Those conditions include paying a $50,000 bond, as well as staying away from drugs, alcohol, and planes. Emerson faces state and federal charges, and yesterday, a federal judge released Emerson from federal custody. Emerson is accused of trying to shut down a plane's engines in late October while riding in the cockpit off duty. The flight from Everett to San Francisco made an emergency landing in Portland. He's charged with 83 counts of reckless endangerment for each of the passengers and crew on board. He was initially charged with attempted murder, but his defense argued he did not intend to hurt anyone. We spoke to his wife after yesterday's hearing.
It's a hard situation for a lot of people, not just Joe, for the people that were on the airplane, for the pilots, for the flight attendants.
Emerson told police he had been struggling with depression and had taken psychedelic mushrooms just 2 days before the flight. The judge ordered Emerson to check in with a peer recovery specialist no later than noon tomorrow. And we now know the names of the 5 people who died in what Clark County investigators are calling a murder-suicide. The Clark County Sheriff's Office says 64-year-old Stuart Rouse killed his wife, Christina, 2 daughters, Melissa and Christina, and his brother, Ronald. It happened Sunday afternoon at a home on Northeast 92nd Street in Vancouver's Orchards neighborhood. Investigators say Rouse texted a relative in the Seattle area early Sunday morning saying he had harmed people inside the home. That relative saw that message hours later and, after trying to contact family members, called police. Officers found everyone inside the home dead. And today, some roads that were closed because of this week's wet weather are opening back up, but others remain closed. This stretch of SR 503 near Cougar, Washington, reopened one lane at 9 o'clock this morning to let some traffic through. You can see the damage that was done there. It is still closed to freight traffic, though. And in Clark County, as of right now, Northeast 112th over Salmon Creek is closed. So is Northeast C.C. Landon Road over Yacolt Creek in Yacolt. In Washington County, Southwest Fernhill Road is closed, and so is Rock Creek Boulevard from Rock Creek Drive to Malheur Avenue. To see a full list of closures, you can always check our website, kgw.com/closings. And speaking of being on the road, Amtrak is extending its service suspension between Portland and Seattle because of another landslide. Amtrak expects to have tracks cleared and trains running between the 2 cities by 3 p.m. tomorrow. A landslide yesterday just north of Vancouver initially suspended operations. Speaking of the weather, meteorologist Rod Hill out in it. He's live at Rose City Golf Course with the Rose City Putters, one of the newest collectors for the KGW Great Toy Drive. Rod, is it raining on you out there? Actually, you're inside. Good for you.
Oh, yeah. Well, good for us. We're inside, right, ladies? Yeah. We don't go outside on a rainy day. We're golfers. So we're having fun with the Rose City Putters because guess what they did? Shake your toys if you have them. Yeah. They became a collection site for the KGW Toy Drive for the first time this year. Now, you guys meet all winter, but you pretty much start playing, Mary Lou was telling me, in March.
Unofficially in March. Our season starts in April. We play through September, and that's it. And we keep in touch, in between, of course.
You're the president of the club.
I am the president. Yes, I am.
What's your position, Barbara?
Gopher.
You're the gopher?
Go for this and go for Rod and go for that. And I'm happy doing that.
So real quick now, why did you guys, who wants to talk? Why did you decide to become a KGW Toy Drive collection site this year?
Well, actually, it was one of our members who suggested it. Karen Breslin's back here. And she said, why don't we be part of that too? I said, do you want to help? And she said, sure. And so she did. And there we have it. And I'm very proud of our ladies for remembering to bring their gifts and being able to give to the less fortunate.
So now, by a show of hands, next summer, The one or the two or the three of you that get a hole-in-one, will you pledge to buy 10 toys for the KGW Toy Drive for next year after your yes! So if we can get some hole-in-ones next year, we're going to really bring in the toys. Anyway, I'll have your weather coming up. I'm happy to tell you we don't have any more flooding, just kind of a mess out there. The rain's coming in. The Rose City Putters, hey! From Portland historic Rose City Golf Course. And we'll be back with your weather forecast coming up shortly, Christine.
Oh, love seeing everybody have so much fun. Thanks, Rod. Okay, so all the rain that we've had recently has caused some big issues for homeowners in the Portland metro area, especially people with septic systems in more rural parts. In the last few days, septic service company Speedy Septic says it has seen a nearly 40% increase in their typical call volume compared to last week and this time last year. Since Sunday night, the company has received more than 550 phone calls.
Yeah, our workload doubles, sometimes triples. Right now, our other drivers, they're pretty much maxed out. And then we're going to have a night driver come in and he'll take the overload. So it's definitely a time where everybody gets their hours.
As a rule of thumb, he says people who do have a septic tank should pump them every 3 to 4 years to get rid of debris on the bottom of it and keep it in good working order. The Multnomah County Board of Commissioners indefinitely delayed a vote on a plan for a community housing village in Portland's Montevilla neighborhood. A vote was expected today, but the Joint Office of Homeless Services asked for more time to get more community involvement. The proposed homeless village would be on the corner of Southeast Oak and 82nd Avenue. It used to be an old RV dealership. The site is expected to have space for 40 people with 29 pod-like buildings. It's not clear when a vote will happen. Well, another city commissioner says he's throwing his hat into Portland's mayoral race. Rene Gonzalez announced he will run for the office next year. He joins fellow city commissioner Mingus Mapps, who announced his candidacy back in July. Gonzalez kicked off his campaign today right at noon with an event at Kelly's Olympian downtown. Okay, now to some national headlines for you this afternoon. Today marks 82 years since the attack on Pearl Harbor. A remembrance ceremony will be held at the National Pearl Harbor Memorial in Hawaii to honor those who died when hundreds of Japanese bombers attacked the naval shipyard. More than 2,400 Americans were killed in the attack, and some 1,100 more were hurt. The attack drew the United States into World War II. And we have more information on the man suspected of shooting and killing 3 people on the University of Nevada, Las Vegas campus yesterday. The Associated Press reports the suspected shooter was a professor who recently got rejected for a job at the university. Las Vegas police say the first call about shots fired came in around 11:45 in the morning. According to UNLV detectives, the gunman made it through several floors of a building before being shot and killed in a shootout with university police outside. The university has canceled classes through tomorrow. Also, at around 8 o'clock this morning, the House of Representatives voted to censure Representative Jamal Bowman for pulling the fire alarm when chamber was in session. The resolution passed 214 to 191. By and large, Democrats stood with Bowman, saying the accusations were not credible and lacked integrity. Bowman is now the 3rd Democratic House member to be censured this year. And Republicans held their 4th and possibly final presidential primary debate last night. Once again, frontrunner, former President Donald Trump was not there, but he was still a hot topic of conversation. Garrett Hake has the highlights.
Overnight, the 4th Republican presidential debate devolving into a 4-way brawl, with Nikki Haley and the absent Donald Trump taking most of the punches. Chris Christie calling out his fellow candidates for ignoring their party's dominant frontrunner.
He's the one who, as you just put it, is way ahead in the polls. And yet, I've got these 3 guys who are all seemingly to compete with, Voldemort, he who shall not be named. They don't want to talk about it.
Christie also asked about this Trump comment.
He says, "You're not going to be a dictator, are you?" I said, no, other than day one.
This is an angry, bitter man who now wants to be back as president because he wants to exact retribution on anyone who has disagreed with him Do I think he was kidding when he said he was a dictator? All you have to do is look at the history.
But with Mr. Trump fundraising in Florida overnight and refusing to take part in a single debate, it's been Nikki Haley who's seen a rise in both momentum and money.
And in terms of these donors that are supporting me, they're just jealous. They wish that they were supporting them.
Haley fending off increasingly personal attacks from Ron DeSantis and Vivek Ramaswamy.
Nikki will cave to those big donors when it counts. The only person more fascist than the Biden regime now is Nikki Haley.
I love all the attention, fellas. Thank you for that.
Haley later brushing off Ramaswamy when he called her corrupt.
Would you like to respond?
No. It's not worth my time to respond to him.
With the frontrunner absent, the night often marked by personal attacks.
Chris, your version of foreign policy experience was closing a bridge from New Jersey to New York.
Yeah.
So do everybody a favor, just walk yourself off that stage, enjoy a nice meal, and get the hell out of this race.
Christie also mocking DeSantis for refusing to directly answer a question about Mr. Trump's fitness for office.
Governor DeSantis, let him finish.
I think we have an opportunity to do somebody who is in the prime of their life.
So at this point, it's unclear if another GOP debate will happen before January 15th, which is when the Iowa caucuses meet. In an interview with NBC's Meet the Press, candidate Ron DeSantis said he expects to win the Iowa caucuses.